season. Very few situations really are intended to endure for a lifetime. The wise ones will know whether each situation in which we find ourselves is for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. It just might be that someone here is holding on to a reason or a season kind of situation, believing that it is never going to end. I encourage you to consider the possibility that right now just might be the time for you to let go of that situation. Turn it over into God's hands and get on with your life. The time that we have shared here this weekend with the network gathering has been for me a Kairos moment, a moment filled with meaning and fulfillment of the unexpected. It was a time of this church collectively acknowledging and embracing the fullness of the reality that the time has come for MCC in Europe and indeed for MCC Manchester to enter into a new season. This can be for you a powerful, God-given moment in time. And so in the spirit of the writer of Ecclesiastes, I suggest that now begins a time for MCC Manchester to give birth to its next vision and to allow some elements of your past to die. A time to plant new seeds of greater dreams and to pluck up the fruits of past labors. A time to kill any self-limiting thoughts and to heal old interpersonal wounds. A time to break down walls of exclusion and to build up hope that this church will be able to make room for all kinds of people to be here at God's table. A time to weep for that which has been lost, and a time to laugh about the mistakes that have been made and will be made again. A time to mourn the passing of unhealthy patterns, and a time to dance with joy over restored relationships. A time to throw away the stones that you might have thrown at each other, and a time to gather stones together that will strengthen your foundation and your faith. A time to embrace change and to refrain from embracing the way that things have always been. A time to seek hope for your future, and a time to lose track of the ways that you were disappointed in the past. A time to keep those things that still serve you well, and a time to throw away those things that no longer work for your good. A time to tear away the veil of secrets and to sew together a fabric of unity. A time to keep silent about things that you don't like about people or about the church. And a time to speak out for the excluded, for fairness and for justice. A time to love yourselves and who you are becoming. And a time to hate anything that might try to separate you from one another or from the love of God. A time for war against any forces that might tell you that God will abandon you in a time of change, and a time for seeking peace, even in the midst of change's turmoil. I know that the idea of the passage of time or the introduction of change causes some of us to feel quite anxious. And some might be ready right now to know what the outcome of this season in the life of this church is going to be. Yet even as you enter into the next season, into the tomorrow of MCC Manchester, I encourage you to live each moment in the now, for now is all that we really have. We can't go back in time to relive the ways that things used to be. We cannot know right now what the future will be. No matter what they said in the Back to the Future movies. Did you see those here? You might have seen one of them. There was a whole series. Remember Marty McFly and the Doc? They whizzed back and forth from the past to the future, to the past, to the future, from the past to the future, in this DeLorean, equipped with a flux capacitor. But I have to tell you, I love those movies, but by the third one, I had no idea when I was. I didn't know if I was in the past, in the present, or in the future. So I think that maybe the moral of that movie was when you start messing with time, life really does get complicated. So don't complicate your life. Don't complicate your church. It's about time. Enjoy the now time. The days and the months ahead of us do not have to be mere tick-tock chronos moments. This can be for you a dynamic and exciting time, if you allow it to be. It can be a kairos moment in which your undreamt dreams and unseen visions can be fulfilled. And the truly amazing thing is that no matter which way you choose to allow this time to be for you, God will be with you as you re-envision and rebirth the body of Christ that is MCC Manchester. It's about time. And my hope and prayer for you, church, is that you will not approach the season of growth and change as a waste of time or as a time to be rushed through or avoided. Instead, trust and believe that God, the maker of all time, is in this time with you. And that you and the very same timeless God will come through it right on time. It's about time. Don't rush a slow thing. And in the meantime, between the now time and the then time, whenever anxiety and fear threaten to overtake you in the midst of change, remember God's promise as voiced by that modern-day prophet, Cyndi Lauper. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me, time after time. If you fall, I'll catch you. I'll be waiting, time after time.